Oh, good evening. There we go. Now my mic is on now. Good evening and welcome to the night shift. I am a little tired today. We're probably gonna have a pretty basic session today. I do want to start with giving just an update on how things went after our last session. We were deploying Adobe 32-bit, so we had to pull down a copy of it. We basically had to build it out on Adobe's website, specify the download package that we had, then store it in a place on the network, and then use group policy to deploy it by virtue of a script as opposed to just the MSI install, because it included a very, very old version of Adobe Acrobat Pro plus an MSP to update that MSI installation. So basically we just used a command to run that. It went effectively flawlessly, save for some machines that were offline and one that was on the wireless. And the wireless implementation is LDAP, meaning they are authenticating against lightweight directory, that being Active Directory in this particular instance. And so pre-login, which is when the computer policies are going to really trigger, the connection that this user had to the network was on a network that did not allow interfacing with the finer points of the domain. So you can get on the internet, but you can't tap a server. You can't look at any resources. So basically it was on the guest wireless. So we ultimately were able to get it installed, but we did have to do it manually for her. I have a fella out on site right now, actually, who is going to address the situation with her connectivity. She should be wired, not wireless, so he's going to work on that. So that's a good thing. Last night, I really wish I had been at the office, because I would have done some streaming while we were having our, big update-a-palooza here. The whole crew was here, and for that same firm, what we needed to do was roll out engagement and ProSystemFX engagement, and that worked out really swell. We did deploy to as many machines as we deployed Adobe to, and that we could not automate. There are people that script it out. I haven't gotten too heavy into the custom installation scripts. Really, not ones that install things that don't automatically have command line options for installation. So, like, for Lacert, I don't believe, like, if I was to automate that, it would take scripts, yes, but then it would probably take something like Auto IT or something like that, something that would be used to basically have macros for the things that need to be done. Now, I just am not into doing that. There's definitely a way that you can write it without loopholes. Totally. But I don't really like to do that. I'd much rather get these things done manually if I have to. I automate bits and pieces. So like the configuration, whatever parts of the configuration I can automate, I do. But especially for accounting firms, I try to stay as hands-on as possible when hands-on is what we need to do. Let's see here. Again, Welcome to the night shift. My name is Shayla, and I am an IT guru. I enjoy what I do. I like what I do. And I support networks, small networks across Southern California. I started in the trenches. I started out as a consumer help desk. It was a consumer call center, honestly, for Dell, ages and ages ago. And started working for the corporate side of Dell. And this was back before Microsoft had their knowledge base public. And because of that job, I got access to Microsoft's knowledge base on the back end. I got access to their knowledge base, and it was just freaking amazing. I learned a lot of stuff. That's when I started getting my corporate chops, for how to hone in on my soft skills, so I didn't sound like a complete boob. I've always been a pretty personable person. I've always been a geek, but I've never been the kind of geek that can't interface with other people. So I've got, an ability to communicate, which is great. So those soft skills helped me along the way. No need to go into my life story, but just saying, I cut my teeth with heavy-handed call metrics. You had to be done in X amount of time. You had to take X amount of phone calls a day, blah, 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 blah. I don't run my help desks with a heavy-handed metric schedule. I think it's absolutely absurd, and it's not helpful to anybody, you or your client. And different time, you know what I mean? Totally different time. By the time I got to Accenture and was working there for a little bit, that is when the MSP world started to develop and really become a thing. And that was pretty fun. They didn't dog us too much by metrics at Accenture, but I did get to work with some pretty cool firms there. Just experience very large variants of types of products that I supported for different companies. Anyway, I'm here tonight because I was going to be here. I'm just sharing my time with whomever wants to join me. I am working the night shift, closing some tickets. I got a little behind today. I had some more systems I needed to get ready for that same accounting firm, some machine replacement. So we got those up and going. Right now, I am working on a couple machines at a law firm. Some machines that I need to have out this week. We've got a whole bunch of computers, and I'm on a 2 per week schedule, regardless of what I've got going on everywhere else. Sometimes it can be devastating. Other times it's just fine. Today, it's just fine. But if I go today and don't get more done on these 2 machines, it will be devastating. Because once the day starts rolling, calls start coming in, I have to move around and hop around. And some days, I need more than one person to be me. And that just isn't happening. Anyway, welcome. And I'm going to be quiet for a little bit. I still haven't gathered or garnered much of an audience yet. And so I'm pretty much, here by myself, licking my own butt here. I'm the one watching me. I'm my one viewer, and I'll probably watch it again tonight just to listen to what I have to say and determine any ways that I can make my show a little bit better. But it's pretty low-key, pretty lightweight right now. Today, for right now, I'm going to be doing some work. I haven't even thought about my second half, and I may not have a second half today. Second half is usually when I'll go into something a little bit more hands-on. Our last night shift was a product rollout that myself and another coworker did, and so there was a lot more going on in that. Today, I'm just wrapping up some machines. So these machines are fully managed and in tune. I do have a local Active Directory domain. They're shifting out of that domain, that Active Directory domain, into cloud-based. So we are slowly, they've got new machines, and we're slowly resetting those machines that aren't getting replaced and replacing people's machines. And intra-ID joining them. I don't even know what the frick to call it. Next month it's going to be something else. Intra, whatever. You know what I mean? Come on, Microsoft. Yeah, man, I got jokes. So anyway, in spite of what is going on in the world, I still have a job to do. It is fixing people's computers. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm paying attention to my chat. You can catch me here on YouTube or on Twitch, depending on where you are. Both locations, my handle is MSP Backline. You can also feel free to give donations. If you want this show to get better, maybe you want to purchase a background for me. You know, I need something going on behind me. Make a donation. Either way, I'm happy you're here, and I can't wait until I've got some more community. In the meantime, I'm going to keep my schedule because, damn it, I feel like I'm doing something that could be good. So sit back and chill while I work my night shift. Alright, so I've got some software deployed. I'm just kind of running that software. Intune deployment, I'm waiting for... I'm going to do a refresh. The background hasn't updated to their corporate one yet, like I want it to. And the OneDrive hasn't synced like I want it to on this system. Who is this again? This is, I'm going to say... Who's counting this? Well, maybe she doesn't have a whole lot of stuff on her desktop. She's a good girl. Every time I see one of these systems and and there's not a whole lot of stuff on the desktop, I assume that the sync isn't up. But this person actually just has a clean desktop, and I am proud of them. So I guess I'll just bring Notepad up just to show you what's on the docket for today. Alright, so I'm going to wrap up some laptops for a law firm. I'm going to take care of these two. I've got one more that I'm going to do tomorrow, okay? I'm going to wait till tomorrow to get started on that, and then I'm going to review my tickets and just see what I can yap about. That deployment went really well, and the key to a deployment like that is definitely planning. If you don't, feel free to take a look at earlier Tuesday's night shift, because it was rich. We did do some good stuff. Of course, there was a limited amount that I could show, but we did it up. Some pretty good policy, group policy action going on there, and a lot of coordinated, centralized management, timing on the implementation of things. Just a little bitty skills that you have to get down over time to make yourself faster and better at what you do. Had a couple drinks yesterday evening. I am not properly hydrated, so I woke up this morning feeling pretty gosh darn bad. That's also part of the reason why I'm probably not going to have I did at least the first third of my shift from my home office because it was easier to get to work on time by virtue of not having to get dressed or to leave the house. All these users, I'm going to check Active Directory real quick, because all these users, as we're shifting them into their new devices, I've been advised I'll need to be all the users need to be able to get into work resources in case they are traveling or at a satellite office. Didn't used to be the case. It's only a subset of users, a small subset. So we're gonna see how long this lasts. There definitely needs to be discussion about licensing for this. I wish it was instantaneous. It is not, though. I should have checked this before. Go into my groups, my security groups, and look for my group that is for my new remote app server. Okay, that person's already in there. And then I've got Intune set up so that it automatically configures remote apps if the user's in the appropriate groups. While I'm here, I'm going to clean up this group and remove any users that are deactivated from this group. Alright, let's do it. Alright, so by the time I get to that other system tomorrow, that person will have all they need. One of these, I think it's like every couple hours or so like that. It does a refresh. So right now, this user, I just put her in the group. So right now, nothing's processed. She did oh, that was nice and fast. Woot. That's the fastest I've ever seen it. I put the user in the group. I went and synced work resources and there her apps were. So that's pretty cool. Let me check on this machine. It should already be configured, and I should already see 14 apps. Yep. She was already in the group. And like I said, even though this is an Intune deployment, I do have my stations. There's a lot of things that automatically set up. Like my counterpart at their office logs in with their email address. Immediately the machine is joined to Intune. Intune then deploys my RMM agent, and the whole world starts to open up for me. So it's pretty cool. Their drives get mapped. They've got some mapped drive locations that are in Azure. Although we're about to move those out, except for the cold storage portions. All right, so this person. Okay, so we're good. What I like to do though is I like to view the resources, and I like to make a shortcut of the folder that holds all of the work resources shortcuts, and put a shortcut to that on the desk. And the reason, instead of shortcuts to the individual applications, because the shortcuts to the individual applications are going to be slightly different per PC. They'll have a different backend GUID, so they won't work. But if I just put the shortcut to the start menu folder, no matter what system they move to, that shortcut is always going to point to the right shortcuts. See what I'm saying? So then I can just say, okay, users, your remote work shortcuts are in that work resources folder that's on your desktop, no matter what system you go to, because they're all Intune joined, and we already have auto configuration, which on my Active Directory domain I had auto configuration as well, but it was for my older app server that wasn't running a server that allowed for me to activate OneDrive syncing for my users at the terminal level. So on that server, I'm using FSLogix, of course, if I'm going to be doing that kind of stuff, having that kind of user activity on the back end. And it's working pretty smoothly. My biggest issues really are end user stuff and some stuff I'm dealing with files. But that's mainly because the project got rushed. Plain and simple. Lack of planning leads to stuff. All right, so I put that shortcut out there for this user. This user, because they were already configured. Oh, no. Oh, here we go. Whoa. I'm surprised, actually, that the folder wasn't already present for the other lady. Maybe she either deleted her work resources shortcut off her desktop, or she didn't use it. But she's going to now. So I'm going to keep it there. Log in with their Outlooks. Through Intune, I make sure. Let's see here. What do I do with Intune? Say my Intune highlights. My Intune highlights for this particular org. Automated installation of Datto RMM agent, automatic configuration of remote apps, connections. What else do I have going? I've got all kinds of shit going on. Let me pull up my Intune. Devices. Talking to a coworker. Might be changing a password here in just a second. I still feel I'm so thrown back by this empty ass desktop. I'm not used to it, seeing a desktop that's actually clean. I may have to change a password for a user here, Office 365. I'm going to do that through Datto RMM, as a matter of fact. I'll describe what I'm doing to you. Like I said, I can't show you that stuff now. Come on. I'm trying to load my configuration so I can tell you guys where my configurations are. Oh, that's so nice. I can move this wherever, and it still shows that. Ugh. OBS, you're my friend. Okay, so I'm going to change this guy's password. So first and foremost, I'll collect the passwords. I use another product. I'm not going to give that name right now, but basically when these guys change their passwords, they're updated in my documentation product. I have another product that can be used to sync the Active Directory password to Office 365 if you're not using AD Sync. We're not using AD Sync at this particular organization just yet, but I do use that tool to keep their password's in alignment. This guy's password isn't in alignment. I'm going to use the RMM right now to set that password for the Office 365 account. I'm going to go to the RMM, Datto RMM, and on the left-hand side, because I have configured my Office 365 integration, I'm going to go to Microsoft 365. I'm going to extend that, and then from there, I'm going to go to all tenants. I could go to all users. That would be just fine. Then I could use the drop-down to advise the system here that I want to look at a particular company and choose that company, and then I'm going to find that user. When I find the user and I select them, I have a option to reset the password. I could even create a temporary access password here. I'm going to click confirm, but I think what is going to happen is it's going to make a password that I am not necessarily wanting to keep. It's totally temp. I'm going to go on the back end of Office 365 right now, but I'm going to do that through the RMM as well. So through the RMM, I could go to Microsoft 365. I could go to all users or all tenants, go to all users, find the user, select the user, click the reset password. That generates a generic password. That's not really what I want to do. So I'm going to go back to all tenants, and then I have columns that have the different administrative pages that I can link to, that I can launch to. All of this using my CSP relationship between myself and my client. If you change the password in Intra, also it will not give you an opportunity to provide what it is you want. Okay. What I want is right here in my clipboard. All right. Okay, I'm looking at the right. All right, I'm going to active users. I'm going to find this feller. Excuse me. And if I click the key, then I can make sure the check is not filled for automatically create a password. Put in the field the password that I want to give him, and then choose to reset the password. And it is done. All right. So anyway, back to the awesomeness that is my Intune for this particular firm. What other fun stuff do I have here? Mapped drives, both to servers, to Windows servers on, actually, to Windows servers and Azure shares. All using, and make sure it depends on the machine. If it's hybrid, they're using AD credentials. If it's pure, then they're using their Office 365 login. What else we got? Oh, automatic configuration. Let's see. A BitLocker. Storing the key in their account, automatically storing it, automatically activating it. And I got browser settings that I have set up for them. Automatic configuration refreshes. I even automatically set up their Outlook profiles so that when I log in as them, like if they get their machine drop shipped and they log in, they can at least get onto Outlook, no problem. It'll automatically configure itself. I'm No worries. I'm streaming. I will be here for another bit. I automatically configure Wi-Fi configuration. Waifu. What else do I do? I set local administrators. This is what I'm doing. All this in Intune. I manage edge extensions. Power settings. Default apps. I'm gonna have to make this. I'm gonna have to make this smaller. Default apps. I do have some surfaces that I have to handle a little differently as far as like their AV and the Windows Home, or not Windows Home, but the Windows Hello configuration. It's actually radius, not LDAP. USB restrictions. Now that one's a funny one. I managed that through, similar to how I did in an Active Directory with a policy and a mixture of groups. Although I find that it's actually a little less troublesome in Intune, which is not. I can't say that for a lot of things that I do. It's a lot easier, I think, in Intune, because I basically I use a mixture of Intune and the RMM, because at the end of the day, you're in a particular group as a machine to have the ability to use your USB ports. Otherwise, they are de facto disable-o. So then I put you in the group for disabling, and then I can go with the RMM and force the issue before your sync. Alright, so that is generally it on that. I mean, I do have some other things that I do. App management as well. So those are some of the things that I, do on this particular environment with Intune. They have a very robust group policy for their Windows Active Directory domain, and what I've done in the process of shifting them to the cloud is try to mirror all of those policies. Everything that's happening with the hybrid or pure domain join machines, I'm ensuring is happening for them on the Intune side. Even setting their Windows, or their wallpaper, I even do that. All right, let's get back at it. Oh shit. All right. I'm just looking at it again. This machine, from jump, I can manage BitLocker. It locks it up. These guys, I've got very strict parameters I have to operate under for their funders, and so I work very hard to do that. These are good people. I make sure they have what they need. I'd make sure they had what they need even if they weren't good people. They're my clients, but not every client is a freaking saint. Okay, so did I install the software for their headphones? Yeah. Did I install the software for their printers? Yeah. Go ahead and log them in with IDP. Even their printer logic software that I use, I have it integrated with Active Directory. These are with Intra ID. These guys are fully fledged Duo users too. Duo everywhere. Duo everywhere. So I'm logging into the printer interface with their Office 365 admins, which are part of their whole login to the system. It's all one big single sign-on fest. Rarely prompted for your credentials. That's the idea. You log in at the beginning and then the rest. But what it also means is that if I disable their account, then all those things also they shut down. Okay, so we got that. Outlook is configured. Go ahead and open up Teams. Give it permission to access the camera and the microphone in advance. Their WebEx is installed. Their VLC, their Zoom. Usually the last thing that I'll do is deploy the Duo for Windows login, because it just it makes the process of me getting everything set up a little bit more. It takes a little bit longer if I'm having to use a bypass code every single time, and they're not going anywhere, So before they're deployed to the end user and put out in the wild, Duo for Windows login is deployed. And I think that may be all, because I deployed Office. They've moved so many of their things onto the cloud that a few months before we started replacing the machines, we forced everybody to switch from Google Chrome to Edge. I set policies to force Edge to suck up that information from Chrome into Edge. So when I set them up with new systems, it ends up being super easy to kind of do all the things, because like logging into their Adobe software, for instance, I just grab their login from their browser if they save it. Some do, some don't. But if they don't, I mean, they're grown-ups, right? Am I right? That's what I heard. All right, so this person, they don't have their Adobe cred saved in the browser, so I can't pre-configure Adobe for them. But they know how to log in. They use Adobe on a regular basis. Let's see if this person does. Their SharePoint is ridiculous too. Their SharePoint is on point. I didn't do some of it. I did, like, I got the ball rolling, but really my counterpart at Office really did a great job of really honing in on their SharePoint. Not gonna lie and say he didn't get some inspiration from me, but he had more time to devote to it than I ever would, and so he did a really good job of making their SharePoint look freaking amazing. I think he was at some conference. He was at some conference last week, and other firms were just slobbering over there. Like, you should see their Teams implementation. Their Teams implementation is on fire. If I could show you that, oh my gosh. So, okay, you know what my goal is for February? My goal for February, let's just put it out here. My goal for February is to get my VLAN set up. And I say this is my goal for February, like it takes a whole month to do this. Just because I have so much to do, it may not even, I just have a lot to do. And so, with MSP Backline, it's kind of like it's my baby. It's something that I'm doing on the side. You know what I mean? I'm doing it after work. Sometimes I forget. But anyway, my goal for this month is to get my VLAN set up for my MSP Backline network, which I've already started building out. To get that done, and I actually think I'm going to record it, because if I record it, not doing a live, then I can go in and I can remove the stuff that I don't want anybody to see, and I can give you guys the information for how to VLAN off a network for hosting more than one network on a Hyper-V server, say with SonicWall Firewall. You guys be interested in that? Let me know. If you guys are interested in other things, let me know. Actually, it's crazy. I haven't. Look, let me see. Let me switch over to MSP Backline. I've got 5 subscribers now. What? That's great. Let me look at my studio here. I got 3 in the last 5 days. Freaking stinking. Sweet. I'll sleep about it. I know who that is. I don't ever look at this stuff. Look at these comments. Oh, I'm so silly. I licked my own butt again. There's two comments on this one particular video. It's because I said good job because I finally got my volume down, and then I thanked myself. That is okay. Okay. So that's not bad. It's pretty horrible. Pretty horrible. I'm all alone out here in these internet woods. But that is okay. The better I get, the more I'm gonna start pumping it out. So, you know, you're catching me on the low end of things. But that is just a list of some of the things that I have going on as far as Intune is concerned with one of my flagship clients. One of my clients that I've had, like, I've nurtured these guys for a long time. Gosh, I remember when they had a handful of servers, were running a really old version of Exchange. I upgraded them from one Exchange to another Exchange version. I might have upgraded them twice. And then ultimately lost the relationship because I stopped working for the firm that had them under their coverage. 6-9 months later, we ended up winning that op at my new firm. And I op on their environment, and I was like, this other firm, this other MSP, like, I don't know. I tend to worry and think that everybody's better. But I was straight tripping on the fact that it had been 6 to 9 months, and they still hadn't migrated these guys to Office 365. Like, what are you waiting for? I think they may have been waiting on somebody who knew how to do it. So if you need a migration, Office 365 migration from Exchange, from Google, from wherever, I got you. Hit me up, holla at MSPBackline.com. I'd love to help in whatever way I could, or whatever way I can. If you're a tech and you need help with it, you know what I mean? Like, give me a little scratch, you know? I'll help you do it. You can take the shine. I don't need to win. I just need the funds. So let me know. At any rate, let's get back to it. Just trying to double check here. Teams is going. Get their OneNote running. Teams is going. Get the OneNote running. Office is activated. I've automated so much of what needs to be done. I feel like I'm missing something. I made sure their forms product could open. Let me reboot this machine one more time. I don't like not seeing the correct wallpaper. Do I still have some coffee? Hot damn. That's what I forgot. Where's that worksheet? Printer codes. I think my worksheet shifted and I just opened the wrong one. Nope, I didn't. Just, which one am I on, Janet? They have printers with account tracking. You know, I gotta say, I have no freaking idea. I have not figured out a way to automate the configuration of account tracking settings because it's stored in the registry encrypted. I might look into it again at some point. It'd be nice to have this automated. Or maybe integrate the printer with Entra IDs so that those profiles are automatically created by virtue of the integration. I don't know. I haven't played around. This is a newer one of those printers, newer than the last. I use the same configuration tool to set up the account tracking, you know, manipulate configurations in bulk if I need to. But there are definitely some features on this printer that did not exist. Access to, you know, newer technology that didn't exist on their older units. Okay. Alright, so all her printers are configured with her code. It's interesting. There you are. It's like, there's no way you don't have code. No freaking way. I just restarted this other user's machine. I'm gonna log back in with her as her. Another nice thing about using web remote for client machines is you can use the IT glue integration if you have passwords saved to inject usernames and passwords into your web remote session. Choice. There's the background I wanted to see. Most excellent. Go to printer logic here and go to view installed, and she should be using this one as the default based on her location. I really appreciate being here with you guys for whoever's listening now or later. My name's Shayla. This is the night shift. I am working my night shift, and I'm doing it with or without you. I do IT support for various organizations in Southern California. My work experience is old enough to drink. What's up with my clipboard? Let's goobly-goo. It's not possible to look here. 755. Oh, it's in there twice. There we go. There we go. I accidentally pasted twice. These codes are 4 digits long, not 8. There wouldn't be a problem if my work experience was in the Epstein files. It's not underage. It's quite mature. Been in this game for quite some time and I love it. It's my thing. Let me check this out. Let me see. Do about my other camera. Yeah, I just wish I could. This was so shiny. I don't mind this view that much. I appreciate being a little closer. Sometimes the arc of my what's happening with my my camera above my head. The only reason I don't like this camera here is because it's literally sitting in front of my middle monitor. My monitor's in butterfly, so my middle monitor is in a portrait, and my two side monitors are in landscape. Okay, so those printers are done. I just feel like I'm forgetting something. Let me go. I've been doing this so long. I really should every single time I set up a machine. I really should be using the setup sheet. Defaults I've set for Adobe Acrobat, for email, Microsoft Outlook Classic, their browser, Edge. I need to update my documentation. Let me just go ahead and do this. Actually, no, I don't want to. I don't want to right now. But it looks like I got all their stuff. So I'm going to lock both of these stations. And then I'm just going to go ahead and toss a Duo. Out to this machine. Do a quick job. Duo. I make a lot of my own configurations, so I've got a configuration for the deployment of Duo. Such that I am prompted for the skey ikey API host. I have also created my own IT glue object or document, if you will, a flexible asset. And that is where I store for like the Duo authentication for Windows. That's where I store the ikey, skey, and host name, so I don't have to go dig into the console to get that every single time. So I just make an IT glue flexible asset that is a Duo app, Duo applications, and so there's really a lot to be desired on how they make your options for your documents. So like for your flexible assets, because it's like I'd like it to be a situation where if you don't fill it, you don't see it, the field, and also if you choose something, certain other things appear, not just all the options. You know what I mean? So anyway, whatever. I got the information. I am going to run this job. What did I grab? The S key or the I key? I grabbed the I key. I key. And let me go ahead and do this on this other machine too. So I have them both. Then I can take care of the pasting the S key. Sound a little better than I did yesterday or Tuesday. Keep sounding a little better, a little better, a little better. S key, and finally the host. Name. But real. And I'm gonna kick this job off. So next time I log in to it, I will be prompted for Duo. I'm not gonna do that tonight. I also, just another little trick of the trade. In Edge, dude, I love to pile up my tabs. So I've got a tab that has the machine open and then the remote access to the machine. And I've got them grouped together, and I name it. And then when I'm done working on it for the day, I can just close the group. And then tomorrow when I need to go work on this group of machines, I can go and open the group from my side panel. And then when I'm done, I can just delete the group and not have to worry about it. There you are. I already had her prepped. Excellent. I might have her mostly done. This is great. Yeah, I've already logged in as her. So, you know, the damage is done. If I've already logged in as her, then I've probably done a good amount of stuff in her profile because, I usually do that last. Logging in as them, mainly because they aren't administrators. And so I end up having to type in creds. Okay, so maybe not. Hold on. Looks like I'm still uninstalling something and I was suffering through the cred entry. Let's see. Yeah, and then I'm gonna check this out tonight and just see how I like looking at myself a little bit closer. I'm gonna do something. I just feel like it's just at my forehead. Like, I want to be all up in this. Hello. I guess I could. I mean, there I am. It's just a matter of moving that cam closer so you can see my muggly ugh. Alright. Cool beans. I'm all up in that. Okay, groovy. Ready to uninstall. So we get these systems with a pre-install of like 50 billion languages of Office 365. I like to remove it. I also remove it because it comes with 64-bit Office, and these guys, they need 32 at this juncture in their digital lives. I need to do something about this mic. I don't know. Here we go. That'll work. So it doesn't look like I'm eating the mic the whole time. All right, good. I think this actually might work because it's not as big of a deal to look around the camera when it's closer to me. But it's further away. Like, I don't like that you can see what's all of my desk, see all my snacks if I have them. My desk is a mess right now. But that's because I've got one of those raised desks that doesn't have any drawers. You know what I mean? Having drawers is probably not having drawers is probably for the best. Oh, see, and having it this close, if I've got something going on behind me, I don't have. Yeah. Awesome. This is working. So I'm uninstalling the versions of Office that I don't want on this machine, and then I'm using the Datto. I'm using Datto to deploy Office. Now, the first thing that I do when I'm deploying Office to a particular machine is I make sure that I hit up the configuration tool. So let me give you let's see, Office. So it's called in the component library the Microsoft Office 365 configuration tool. Okay, I'm going to take a scrolling image of this tool, and we'll go over the various settings while I am waiting for this. So let's see here. All right, so let me minimize this. Okay, so it is called the Office 365 configuration tool. Okay, as you can see. And you know what? Something I need to do. Something else I need to do. I need to stop being so scared of using more real estate. I just need to freaking don't worry about that shit. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna worry about the Cash App at the bottom for right now, and I just should probably get something to go behind that. But regardless, here we are. Office 365 configuration tool, okay? So it starts up with a company name. So I'll put in the full company name. And this kind of pre-configures the options. It is the fodder that is used for the Office 365 installation component. So when you go to install this stuff next, you don't have to worry because you don't have any options. It's just like current or semi-annual enterprise are your two options for deploying the actual software. So this file is what you use to set an XML on the system to pre-configure the options. It's similar to what is set when you use the Office deployment tool. What products are deployed. I mean, effectively, it's the same thing. You set a system configuration settings, so anytime that there are that doesn't even make any sense. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, I'm stepping away from this, actually. Actually, no, I'm not. So, next thing is the user language ID. So, I usually will take out the French because I don't want it. But if you needed to install Spanish, you put in the code for Spanish. The bitness, I've been choosing 32. I do not use the semi-annual enterprise unless I have to. Like, for instance, trying to think of the product. I was just working with Engagement. On a terminal server. It prefers that you deploy a semi-annual enterprise, so you can choose your update channel. I usually use current. And then what you want to exclude. For this particular client that I am working with and I'm setting up these machines, the only thing I exclude are Link and Bing. I hate Bing. It's the worst search engine ever. No thank you, Microsoft. And then Link is basically legacy Skype. Yep. A user edition, I switch it from 365 apps for enterprise to the apps for business. And then I can click run. And then after that, I just deploy the Office 365 component, and it will install based on these settings. This is how you ensure it installs 32-bit, how you ensure it's configured for the correct user channel. And then I'm going to take all these other apps off. So what I have is Link, Bing, apps for business, run. Let that go. I need to tap into another machine at that CPA firm. My guy on site is saying things that I don't understand, so I got to see it for my own self. I know what you're talking about, bro. Oh. You know what? Would be good. I need to run this job on DNS to open up his DNS. I'm gonna convert his DNS to service to IP dynamic. Right now they're hard coded because we were configuring from here, the VPN from my office. Yeah, his username must be wrong. Looks like this guy has a wrong username. So when you're accessing engagement, if you have the wrong username, it's gonna ask you for. If you have the wrong username, it's gonna ask you for the server because it can't find you on that server. I had a coworker that spent a long time today working on a machine thinking there was something wrong, and really the issue was the guy didn't know his username. So I've gone onto the engagement server and I'm going into the admin console. I've got those credentials stashed in IT glue. Engagement admin module. Username is always admin. And I'm just gonna log into that console, and then I'm gonna look under staff, and I'm gonna find. It's so right. Default location. Cancel this. What? All right, got that taken care of. Yeah, so his username is right. Pretty weird. Made me nav to the freaking server. Even though I switched his computer on his profile, but the profile didn't exist. At any rate, let me disconnect from this gentleman's computer. I don't really need to see what taxes he's working with. He's testing everything out, and Rob will let me know if there's something that he needs. Alright, so here on this night shift, what we have done is I have continued to do the works. Let me do a reboot on this other station. This is a third laptop. This is a third laptop that I will have gotten done this week. This one got kind of pushed because of some other fires at the organization, some other machines that needed to be replaced sooner, like some systems that borked. Let me look at my ticket queue, because I still have a good 20 minutes of time here. I got a couple of backup tickets that I'm going to just close with a note with no further action required. I'm not the backups for those units are only there in preparation for the replacements of the machines. No further action required. I tell you what would be really good is if I got a little bit more better at the speed codes and getting templates together, so that I can, because I close a lot of tickets the same way. Let's see, I've got a fella at when did this come in? Holy crap. A fella at a dentist's office who's having a problem with Adobe. Reader's not working. Having a problem printing files. Well, sometimes one of the first things that I like to do in these situations is take a look at overall stats. This machine was rebooted yesterday, so that's good. It is a system that I've been perpetually having a problem with my attempts to upgrade it to Windows 11. It's really pissing me off. It's making me pretty bitter, actually. It's made me very bitter. No matter what I do, I can't seem to upgrade it. And I think it has something to do with the recovery. I'm probably gonna have to do some fiddlery. Get the recovery partition back. She could find a welcome. I'm looking for looking for just a generic PDF. USDA.gov. It's a sample. Bro, you don't have any printers. The heck? What? When someone doesn't have printers, their spooler service is stopped. Plain and simple. Period. End of story. Yep. Spooler service is stopped. Now, for a regular end user, you know, like, they could have restarted their computer. But I'm still tripping at... There we go. There we go. So now when I go to print, instead of, when I click see more, I'm gonna reboot this computer. Like, in all seriousness. So... All right. Still streaming. Yeah, my guys at this firm installing some machines that we've been working on. Oh boy, it is time. It is time for some rest. But I didn't want to leave this ticket undone, like unattended to. Like, I think there's been a couple other tickets where I've been a little less than timely because I've been so overwhelmed by everybody's last minutes. I needs it done nows instead of the planning that I prefer. Oh my gosh. This is for, yep, spooler service is stopped. I'm seeing that alert right here. That should have triggered. I need to go over my policies. Because that should have triggered. What is this? This is in my Windows Desktop OS policy. And this is looking like, yeah, there it is. Let me edit this. Spooler stopped. Attempt to take remedial action. Started. Stop. Do not alert. It's been disabled. Huh. So if that happens, I'm just injecting a component to clear the spooler and restart spooler service. Right. In addition to the built-in, it's gonna try to start it because it's not disabled. But it didn't handle that. It didn't handle that well, I don't think. Because here I am looking at this machine. He's saying I can't print. I open up his printers and it's completely empty, which means the printer spooler service is stopped. I started it, the printers appeared. Some he didn't look to be connected to. Now that could also be because those printers, like maybe they turned them off before they left the office. I'd have to cross-reference another machine and see if they can see those printers. And it's possible that they won't be able to. It's also possible that they may be able to. Yeah. Let me see. I don't think we manage there. Blah, 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 blah. We don't manage any printer logic for them. We do not. So I'm gonna let this whatchamacallit do what it do. Save and deploy now. Because I'm gonna let it do what it do. Because there might be something in that 2, 5, 18, 7 minutes ago. Perfect. But in all seriousness, it seems as if the system is starting up with the print spooler service in a place where it shouldn't be, namely not started. So it's supposed to start up automatically. It's configured for automatic start. It starts without a problem. So what is going on? I'm gonna see if this there we go. Check activities. I want to see if this component is run against the machine. It could be that it doesn't work as I wanted it to because, well, no, even though I activated that component after it had picked up on the stop spooler service again, it should still not retroactively, but it should detect and run that again. Let me run another audit against the machine. What I'll be looking for is in the activities. You know what? I could probably drop this down a little. Kind of feel like it's in my face, but what? That's so weird. Oh, you think you're smart, don't you? You think you're smart, don't you, Logitech? It's kind of doing its own little focus thing. Alright. I still don't know if I like that angle, but it's whatever for right now. We're almost done. For tonight, I'll check it out on the rewatch. I'll check it out on the rewatch. Yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know. I got it like jimmied. I'll show you. It's like my camera on a stick. Let me kill my desktop one. Hold on. I can show you. All right. See my camera on a stick. A camera on a stand. That's what it looks like. It's a mic stand that has a phone holder, and I just kind of tied this camera to the top of it, zipped it, We do what we must do. All right, cool. I will check this out in replay, see how it goes. Activities. I expect to see the job to clear the queue in here, but I'm not seeing it right now, so I'm gonna run it manually. Quick job, spooler, clear and restart. Let's go. Let's go. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna try another reboot, because then if this doesn't work, what I really should do is rebuild his print spooler service. Makes no sense. Yeah, it makes no sense that this service is stopping. Let me look in Event Viewer too and just see if it's like, oh, see, yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't seem like it should be crashing with any type of error. Otherwise, you know. Actually, and there's something else I wanted to check out. Let me check out printer logic, the main console. I think what I'm looking at here is that there are some tools for printer logic at this environment, but I don't think we manage their printer logic anymore. Should I change the what? AP domain? Following up on a client text that I missed this afternoon. I thought she said she was gone. Wi-Fi already changed it. Oh, my code. Yeah. Oh, no, they're in here. What am I doing? All right, so let me, wow. I forgot. Not gonna lie. I totally freaking forgot that these guys had that these guys are using printer logic. Is this Alright, let's see if this job has run, or it's running right now. Let's see what the status of the, okay, print spooler is running, but it stopped again. So I'm gonna start it. I started, it stays started. Nope, it stopped. Okay. Alright. We're gonna have to rebuild that spooler service. We have to rebuild that spooler. How are we gonna do that? It's gonna be our last thing that we do tonight before we head out. Rebuild. Alright, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna run this command to stop the spooler. Then we're gonna do this quietly and forcefully. Delete from Windows System 32, spool printers, all the things. which is technically clearing the queue, which is technically what that little component should have already done. But it'll clear the corrupt jobs and reset the working state. But if that doesn't work, then we'll have to delete the drivers too. I don't really want to do that. Okay, let's queue. Alright, so I'm gonna grab it. Stop spooler. Let's open up. I'm gonna open up. Use the quick launch to open up command prompt over here. Net stop spooler. Let's go. Nope, it's not started. Hello, I know this. Hello. Thank you. Grab my other. Copy. Deleted all that stuff. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start the spooler. Started successfully. Refresh. But it stopped again. I'm going to the event viewer now. Because it's gotta be, something's gotta be happening when it's shutting down. Service control managers terminated unexpectedly. It's done this 5 times. All right, well, since it's already started, I mean, it's already stopped. What I'm gonna do at this point is, I'm gonna rename the drivers directories. And now I'm gonna start it again. And I'm gonna see if it craps out again. Yeah. Okay, so one thing I noticed when I renamed the service, and then I renamed the service, started the server, the spool server. So now it's running. This is a picture of it, because I told you I can't show you the stuff, but let me double check myself here. It's still running. This printer extensions and notifications. This failed to load after I renamed the drivers. But with that not running, pardon me, the spooler is working. I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna leave that not functioning. I'll look into that a little bit later. But now, what I've basically isolated is another service that isn't necessary, but when on is not working. Failed to read description. That's a manual start, but I think it may have been getting its description from one of those paths that we renamed, because it changed after a refresh of services after I renamed the drivers. let's go and take a look at installed printers. Yes. And now I can go to the properties of this printer. And I think, yeah. And I should be able to grab, like, it's prompting me that it wants the driver. But it has the drivers in cache. And really, let me click cancel. I can grab the drivers for each of these printers from Printer Logic. To reinstall the drivers. So I'm just going to go to Printer Logic, the spot for these, the URL, and I'm going to install that front office, his printer, and then the Toshiba that they have. That should replace the drivers on the system with the ones that are being held out on the cloud. So now if I go to properties of the Toshiba, properties of this printer. Take your time. Yeah, I don't know what was going on, but again, I didn't do anything destructive. I just did a rename. Printer properties. Print test page. It's spooling. And the problem that he expressed having with Adobe. Let me pull that ticket back up. What did it say? It's spooling. It's just spooling. Yeah, rename both of these folders. Started the spooler, and I'm working with it right now. Still not printing. Crazy. After I did the rename of the driver directory, all of a sudden Adobe was like, "Hey, I got an update for you. We're gonna work this out before we go. I want this doctor to be okay when he gets in tomorrow. I want him to be able to print." DP to mini DP. Damn. I'm waiting for 0 here. Fucking 0 session. I'm waiting for it to pop. There we go. Yeah, it's still spooling. Strange. Spooling but no error. I don't even know. The properties are not responding. I don't know, man. This is not graceful. Yeah, I think I think this issue really had to do more with drivers or port monitoring than Windows, based on the response from the system after I renamed those driver folder locations. I'm navigating to them too. I'm navigating to them on the system right now. What the holy hell? There's obviously been a good amount of Windows update troubleshooting going on this machine. It has a couple cat roots, couple of other directories that are all right. Where was I headed? Spool. System 32 spool. Printers. Spool drivers. So something in one of these. I'm gonna stop the spooler again. And I'm gonna rename these other folders something else, and then I'm gonna take the original .olds, rename them back to what they used to be. Just basically reverting my changes. I want to confirm something. Net start spooler. My test page has been sent to the printer. It took forever, but it sent it. I lost track because I started changing things, so it's whatever to me. Let me pull the services back up real quick. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I can read, all of a sudden the printer extensions and notifications, I can see the description on that. So let's go back. Connections. Interesting. Shouldn't really be using any V4s because printer logic doesn't support V4 drivers. What I was hoping for was to get a little bit more information on the details as to the offending module. But I'm not seeing anything that indicates what module is spurring the crash of the system pooler, or the system spooler. I'm not seeing that at all. Let's see if I can't find any correlating. Okay, so we've got. Let me see if these are two different. Yeah, two different files. So I've got a. I've got an app error that indicates an HP. There's an HPGU something. Is faulting the printer filter pipeline service. And then I have a second. Yeah. And then I've got a kernel base DLL that is with the faulting app of the spooler service. So it's definitely crashing. And this is an HP driver issue. Alright. So what I'm going to do here, the print spooler should still be in a stop state because I'm still using the rusty crusty drivers that cause it to crash. So in printers, I'm gonna open up printers folder here, and then I'm gonna activate my might have to use the on-screen keyboard for this. Use the left. Is it the left alt? Oh, damn it. Or is it the right alt? Oh, wait. There it is. There it is. No, it's not it. God damn it. It's kind of hard to do this through remote sometimes. What I'm trying to do is activate fucking printer properties. God damn. The server properties. Where did I go? The fuck ever. I'm getting annoyed. I'm gonna go into print management. Do the drivers. There aren't any drivers, you know, because that's not how it works. Let's see. It's not how the fuck it works. I need to get rid of some drivers. Some universal drivers. I need to start this. I need to start the spooler back up. Net start spooler. I need to start it back up because you can't see the shit without the spooler service running. You don't see drivers. You don't see that stuff. Oh man. It's the freaking universal printer. the universal print drivers. It's some HP print drivers. Drive me crazy. This is not fun. Oh. The fuck? It's gonna crash. It will have crashed already. Yeah. Where's this? Where's this fucking? Let me stop this by. I don't know if I need to know the I need to know the display name for this print filter pipeline service. Yeah, that's print notify. I don't see a service by that name. Yeah, it's running the service host. Okay, well, let me see. Do I have a backup agent on this puppy? Good. Okay. Just want to make sure I can replace some files if I need to. Spooler stopped. I'm gonna delete. I'm stopping. I'm running this command here to remove the drivers from the registry, and then I'm going to remove the HP monitors because there's two files this is happening. It's an HP file that's triggering. What is it? Let me pull up the event. Yeah, so the kernel-based.dll is triggering a crash in spool service. But before that, there's an HP DLL that's triggering a crash of the printer filter pipe monitor, which isn't directly listed in services. It's handled by SV host. It's one of the many things that's running behind one of the many instances of SVC host that you'll see running in Task Manager. So it's not fully named. So I'm doing that, deleting the registry drivers, and then I'm going to delete the HP monitors. We'll see if that works. The command I'm going to use for that is right here. can't find any of that. And then I'm gonna just go ahead and bite the bullet, and if I need to restore, I will. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little of that. And I really need this to be the end of... Really? It's giving me access denied as if the spooler service is running. Let's do that again. Oh, sorry. I looked in the print driver store for some HP stuff, and then I'm running. That. Uninstall each of those OEMs. Did I do it? Yeah, and it gave me a pretty decent list here. What's that? HP. Y. UI 31. Alright, so I unstarted those, and now I'm going to try starting the spooler. Yeah, and that should be in there. Net start spooler. And what I'm hoping for is that the spooler service is going to stay up this time. So it is staying up this time. And it's not... It didn't kill the description of the printer extensions and notification service. And the print spooler service is continuing to stay up. Alright. Adobe Acrobat updated successfully. So now, let me go back to the print spooler because yeah, it's still running. So it got rid of all my printers. That's neat. Let me get back into printer logic. Let's get this. I'm reinstalling the printer they have for the front office. I mean, basically, we're starting fresh here because his spooler is just wrecked. Now I'm installing his little HP Envy printer that he has sitting there at his desk. That's it. Yeah, the HP Envy is the only HP printer that he had. He had several other printers listed. I wish I had taken a screenshot of them before I did what I did. But again, like I said, I've got backups of the whole system, so I need to replace any of those files for any weird reason, then I will. Now I'm installing the last. Alright, this is eStudio. So now when I go into the printer folder, I see the front office printer is offline, which it was. His printer is showing to be ready. This HP Envy here. Pulling up the properties. And I'm pulling up the queue and the properties for the two printers that are online. And the dialogues for both of them, so I can send a test page. So, immediately, the job went out to the Toshiba. Print it. It's done. We're still spooling on this little Envy, and while it's doing that, the properties aren't responding. I'm starting to wonder if the problem isn't this Envy. Let me see. I'm gonna grab the IP address of the printer. On his system, I'm gonna go to the IP address of the printer. Sorry. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it up. So, we might just be dealing with a situation where the printer is kind of like in... Yeah, it's not letting... I'm getting a timeout. So, the printer may not even be at that IP address. I'm going to cancel all documents. I do have advanced IP scanner on this machine. Make sure I'm looking at the right subnet. I'm gonna do a scan, see if I can find that NV, fix the IP. More to the point, if I find that NV, I need to make sure that it doesn't change IP addresses. I mean, there's a brother printer. I don't know whose brother printer that is. It's not on my list of printers. But this is one of the things I'll touch base with him on tomorrow. Sort these by names. I don't care about any of that. This is... What? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so this printer... Okay, so yeah, all this stuff is just changing. The port for this is 98. Yeah, that's right. Port 98. Does that say 98? Yeah, it says 98. This says 98. So it's not offline? Explorer just crashed. Let's go. We want to look at installed printers. Yeah, for some reason, it's offline. The hell kind of binary P1 what are you talking about? Shouldn't be using raw protocol. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. This printer is obviously not offline. That's why it's binary. Son of a... I think that was an accident, it being LPR. That's weird. Refresh configurations. Yeah. Weird. This doesn't make any sense. This printer is not offline. Well, this is a conundrum that I'm not... What does this mean? Oh, the drum needs to be replaced. Okay, so it might be showing offline because the drum needs to be replaced. Okay. Okay. Cancel all documents. There's an error code on that printer. But all the print job for his unit... Did I stop it or not? Let me go back up. I'm gonna try to do another test print job to this NV of his. That one is showing to be online, but I'm not even... I can't find that port anywhere. So... Yeah. So something's up with his NV. There was definitely something up with the print spooler. Okay. There was definitely something up with the print spooler. I'm going to cancel all these documents. That's what I did last time on this machine as well. There's something up with that. It's either asleep or... I don't know. It's either asleep or... It's not at that IP address. I just did an IP scan. I don't see it on the IP address that is registered to it, even though it says that it's online. So, generally speaking, we're most of the way through this. I'm going to have to talk with the doctor tomorrow. We've alleviated the issue that resulted in his spooler crashing on him repeatedly. But we don't know exactly what's going on with one of his three printers. One of his printers is offline because the black drum needs to be replaced. It's printed as many print jobs as it possibly can in its lifetime. And for this NV, I don't know what's going on, but at least at this point, he can print to the main printer in their office in the front. I did confirm that and was able to do. So I am gonna write up a note to him in this ticket. Let me see here. There's that ticket. And touch base with him tomorrow about it. But for me personally, it is time for me to get home and enjoy some dinner. Again, thank you all for joining me at the MSP Backline. We were able to knock this last little problem out Even though I couldn't share all my screen with you, I was definitely able to share with you what I did. And ultimately, this set of commands did the trick. I did just try renaming the driver folders, and that worked, but it messed up one of my supporting drivers, at least the description. So we went through, we deleted all of the OEM XXINFs. We found all the HP drivers. We made a new driver directory. After we removed it, we deleted references in the registry for drivers. The second one right here yielded no return. All of this in between stopping and starting the spooler, and now the spooler is in a place where it is what's the word? I'm so tired. Stable, and I'm just gonna let the doctor know, and then I'm out of here. Like, I'll see you guys next week. Maybe Saturday. I just don't know yet. Doctor, we have gotten your print spooler stable now, so you can print to. It wasn't the front office. It was the Toshiba. The black. What is it? Black drum on the brother needs to be replaced per the notice. When I look at its status, your HP Envy may just be asleep tonight. It is not at its known IP, so I could not print to it. I will reach out tomorrow to assess the issue further and address any other concerns you may have. Okay, and I'm gonna make check in the box. To contact him, save and close up free. I'm done for the night shift for tonight. This is some good work. And another reason why I like doing this is because it keeps me here to do it. I go home, I want to play with my dogs, I'm gonna go talk to my gal. Here I'm just getting some work done. So this was a good shift. Got some good work done. I made it sleep very well after I ate some dinner. Thank you so much again for joining me. And I hope you have a great evening. We will see you next week.